The biggest problem with social media isn't that it has like problematic avenues that could lead you to racism or white supremacy or sexism. My biggest issue with it is it's boring. Like, there's not really anything new or creative anymore. There's not a way to really express yourself that is given enough limelight. Like, if you do see something creative, yeah, you might give it a like, but it's like you gotta market yourself, you gotta sell yourself. You're doing so much more time trying to market your talent or skill and not really cultivating your talent or skill, which is like irritating. Like, if your skill has a very high marketable value, um, that's great. It's like it seems streamlined, but it makes people want to go into those jobs and careers, and they could be good at it, but they're not passionate about it, and you could tell later down the line that they're more um, infused with the fame than the actual talent itself. So I'll just be watching someone and I can see that they don't love what they're doing, because like they're cutting corners. And if I'm trying to copy them and I see them cutting corners, eventually it's kind of like incest, where like I'm copying them and they're not great, and the cells just deteriorate over and over and over again until you just got this like barely recognizable human being or structure or whatever. It just becomes mind numbing, where you can't really think. It's like it hurts. It's just like because like I used to love the expression, the passion when someone made like maybe a minute or two clip of like, hey, Johnny's gonna ride down the skateboard. He's talking to me as if I'm here and I know Johnny. He's talking to me like I'm part of the story. And I felt it. I'm like, yeah, Johnny's going to go down the skateboard. And then you see him, he's going down a hill, and he's like, it's not like something super extreme. It's just like, oh, he did it. Wow. Oh man, they're outside. You know, them boys. You know, they're one of the guys, the fellas. Um, Things don't do that anymore. They're like Red Bull commercials. Yeah, extreme, all this passionate. Uh, my problem with that is not that we shouldn't see extreme things and see professionals do those things. But when they try to act like that's just normal, one of the guys' things, they're not trying to sell you something. In conflict of interest. It's always like, oh, well, I get to see this in this setting. It's better than if I just watched a regular guy in conjunction. I just that's why anytime I see on social media any sort of sponsorship, any sort of big money get into it, I instantly know it's going down the drain. It's going to be boring because everything is going to be scripted, and everyone who's going to try to follow it is it's not going to work. It's going to be subpar. It's going to be like, oh, I watch you in this bike trying to do a flip on the hill. You're just going to hurt yourself. And that's what people want. They just either want you to hurt yourself or a company that has multiple takes multiple times succeed. And that's it. It's so that's what divides bully culture. That's what happens. It's just like, if you didn't succeed, you're a failure. And I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna mock at you. I'm gonna make jokes. I'm gonna make memes. I'm gonna make everything and use your face as a template to just like mock you, to get my own popularity. And companies don't care. Like, it's not like that's their goal, but they don't typically care if you do that. Now, if someone were to ask them, oh, we don't like that, we don't agree, and they say the whatever, but they're indifferent. And that's why I'm mad at like the people. Like, they expect the people who cause this the byproduct to exist to care, to be the police. Why? I'm mad at you because it's like you could speak all day about how bad it is and then still engage with it. But that goes and leads into my second issue. Those that are always nostalgia farming, always say, I want to go back, I want to go back. I wish I could send them back just so I could say, did that improve anything to you? Because all the same videos that were basically out there are still out there. Uh, Maybe there are a few that were actually hidden and suppressed, but none of the videos that they're talking about, most times, are videos that you could still see. Numa Numa has been out for years. I've heard people, I want to go back to the early 2000s. You don't know what it was like. I do. We were there. We never, like, I can literally, it's like I'm not going to get excited about it anymore. You want the experience, the feeling, because you're a boring person. You're lame. You suck. Do something else. Experience something else. Nah, just tell everyone to go back. Like that's going to fix everything. Has that ever fixed anything? Has anyone ever just like read a book and said, "Oh, I know the information now. I should go back." And act like I don't know the information, the luxuries, the situation. That's the curse of knowledge. That's the blessing and curse of knowledge. Once you know, you can't unknow. So what do? You know more. People are so willing to stagnate themselves, and I'm like, why? I get it, because I understand wanting to go back, because there was a time I did, but there was always a person in my head telling me I couldn't. An understanding, that yearning to grow, to change, to improve, and especially when someone else learned that before me and they became a success in something that I thought was a failure. They did something that I wanted to do, or at least something that gave them something more that I didn't even realize that I wanted, because I wasn't strong enough to explore that. I wasn't strong enough to go that extra mile, that inch, or at least humor it. Now take it so serious and just say, okay, what if I could have been a billionaire on Bitcoin. I could have been I could have been a YouTube personality. I could have been a Call of Duty gamer. I could have done all of those things had I actually committed myself to trying to do it, because I authentically wanted to try to do it. But I failed because I jumped on the bandwagon of haters. I jumped on the bandwagon of, oh, this is successful now, let me try it now. Newsflash, you don't get successful when something is already successful and well known. Usually. When there's a downward trot, when no one believes in it, that's when I believe in it. Because if I truly believe in it, I don't care if it's up, down, left, right, I'm going to do it. And that's how you become successful. Because you're already successful. You're like, I'm going to make this a success. I'm going to put the money in. People think that putting money into something and just like hoping and praying it becomes successful, like that's not success. It's putting money into something and saying, earn me that money back. And it's a gamble. It's purely gamble. You're putting all of that pressure and that weight on that being. That's not savvy. That's not smart. That's predatory. That's prying on someone. When you're up against the odds, when you're truly trying to be successful, you're doing what you need to do, what you feel is success, and you manage to hit it every single time. And it doesn't matter if the people now acknowledge it or the people later on, because movie makers have done that for so long. I've seen it. Movies that don't pop off, that don't, like Cats don't sing, or Cats don't dance. Cats still dance. I forgot which one it was. I think it's Cats Don't Dance. It doesn't help my point. But that movie inspired me. That movie was so great. And it wasn't like culturally recognized. Like I won't say that it doesn't have its fan base. I'm not saying that there aren't people that it's something mainstream, but it's not top tier mainstream. If I said that right now, people are like, what movie are you talking about? It's like someone set out to make a movie, make a film, do something, have the message, And maybe it didn't hit millions of people, but thousands are just as good. It hit me. And I feel like that's worth something. It hit me, made me feel. I'm tired of everybody. If I perform to a crowd of 10, let it. Then let it. I don't want to perform to a crowd of thousands. If I learned this, not in the military, but I say in the military, I would rather have 5 good men, 5 good loyal soldiers, friends, whatever, special warfare unit, than have a million standby false soldiers, their loyalty that I have to keep paying. Because guess what? If half those people become traitor, the other half are incompetent. What's the point? I basically have 0. I have 1 million, yet I have 0. The value is gone. But five good men. That's all I need. 5 good men can get a lot of things done. That's why people pick the special warfare over the army. They were like, oh man, they sent the Navy SEALs. It's like, yeah, that's a big deal. They sent elite trained people. Now I don't care how good your army is. You can't elite train everybody in that army. It's well trained. Elite trained because you don't have the time, the money, the resources, and I don't think everyone has that drive. If you think that you can get all those people to come into this hive mind and train like that, kudos to you. I'm afraid of the world that you live in, and I'm afraid of the sacrifices that you had to make to achieve that. But to each its own. My whole point is, I'm not doing this for the majority. If it so happens to hit the majority, good. And I'm not doing this for the minority. I'm doing this for myself. I've always done this for myself. I've always wanted to live in the world that I envision. I always wanted to walk around safe. I always wanted to walk around any place and feel safe and comfortable. I wanted to be like, this place I don't feel safe and comfortable, I won't go. I wanted to make more things safe and comfortable for me. I'm tired of talking bad about a place. I'm like, hey, the reason why this place is bad is X, Y, and Z. If you fix X, Y, and Z, I can go there. Because I know if I go there, it's a nice place. If it's a nice place and I think it's a nice place, other people say it's a nice place, they come there too. I don't like gentrifying places. I don't like, okay, put a Starbucks on it. That doesn't make it a nice place. I've seen places get gentrified and they just become boring. I'm like, oh, this is the nicer Starbucks. I don't even like Starbucks. I hate Starbucks. I don't drink it. I don't like McDonald's. I don't like any of those places. It's like, they're so boring. They're so uniform. They're like, I could just got it over there when they gentrified that place over there. I could have went, like, there's like 12 places that are gentrified. It's it, but I don't want something that's structurally unsafe. Like, oh man, bring it back to when it was dirty and grimy and there was no safe codes and healthcare violations. Nah, bring it back to that. I don't want that either. I want like a balance. I want like, hey, let's put new structures, better rules. They'll be like, the food doesn't taste the same. Good. Like, I guarantee you, there's a way to make food taste good and not have it oversaturated with grease, not having it so unhealthy and so dirty. If I have to sacrifice flavor for like actual health, I will. Like that's for me, because like I want to live long, and I can find like a balance. Like sometimes I like fried chicken. I can eat some fried chicken. Some places like that they try to convince you, it's like, oh, this is a hole in the wall place, or this is a Chinese restaurant that nobody knows. There's a reason why those places shouldn't be too mainstream. I don't know what they putting in there, and people keep gassing it up. And I'm the only one that's like, I don't want to gas that up. What are you putting in there? Tell me the recipe. It's not because I'm trying to cook it at home. The reason why I came to a restaurant because I didn't feel like cooking. But what are you putting in my food? And people be like, no, 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 don't worry. What you don't know, it's like, no, no, I need to know. Because like if I know and it disgusts me, then I'm gonna leave. But you'll never taste this again. Maybe I should never taste it. I don't like going to hood restaurants because people keep trying to gaslight me and then making it sound like it's good. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the black community, and this is strictly between me and the black community. I'm tired of the black community trying to gaslight me and saying that these places. Remember the candy lady? I'm glad the candy lady gone. I'm glad the candy lady gone. Why are you selling candy to kids? Cavities and deuce. Are you selling toothbrushes too? Are you a dentist? Are you helping the dentists? Maybe we shouldn't be giving all these kids that sugar. Maybe we shouldn't be selling cheap. Don't you know the history of candy and sugar? Like what they did to the indigenous people, they kept giving them candy and sugar. Their teeth was rotting out their head. But we don't talk about that. The candy lady, she nice. She give you candy. So let's replace the candy lady with the crack lady. So if the crack lady gave you something that feel good, oh, it's okay. No, candy lady need to go. I'm glad she gone. I do miss the barbershop CD, man. You know, be selling bootleg DVDs. That's something we could bring back. But you know, no one use CD players. But you know what? There's always a scammer. There's always somebody. No, you know what? Let's not bring him back. Let's not bring him back. The whole point is like we need to improve on it. Sometimes I don't want a movie that someone's coughing or they got the camera tilted to the side too much or the screen so oversaturated or zoomed in too much. Nah. You know what I need? I need movies to be cheap. I need movies to be on one streaming source. I like going to the movie theaters. I like going to the movie theaters. I don't want to just go see the movie. The reason why it was okay to go to the CD, man, was because movies were so expensive and you had so much time. Like you didn't have enough time and you just wanted your kids to see a movie. Now we got all those movies on streaming, but you got to change around the streaming every time. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it becoming more and more expensive for no reason. And the movies suck each time. Maybe let's not glamorize the past on why we had to do that. Maybe we should improve on why we stopped doing it. Go further. Say what led us to do this. I'm tired of being what's it called, yelled at by politicians about like getting DoorDash or not cooking my own food. What I realize is that I'm not a chef. Like I like to cook, don't get me wrong, but I'm tired of not obtaining that skill, not having time to cultivate that skill, learn the skill. I don't have the grocery budget to go get some food and then mess it up trying to learn how to cook, because learning how to cook is a cost. Going to cooking class is a cost. It's like if I don't prepare it right or don't have enough portions for everybody, I'm out of luck. Or I'm tired. I'm drained. As everyone knows by this point, got shot in the leg. Sometimes, like the pain of getting shot in the leg, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up. I got shot in the leg. My pain, my nerves, they hurt. Everyone looks at me like, okay, you're young. You have to fight against the pain, and that's what disables you more. When you're like, your body is telling you to rest, and you go, yeah, but everyone's motivating me to get up and go cook. I want to rest because my leg wants to rest. And if I feel like a day like, hey, I can do it and I can cook, I'll cook. Like no one trusts me to believe in me and my work. Every person that I've met when I talked about like my disabilities and injuries, they keep like trying to say because I'm young, I'm not aware of my own body, my own process, my own healing, my own intellect. Um, like being young is not a foolproof card. Just because you overwork, you're not gonna overwork me. Uh, I recognize my limits. I recognize having a cautious hand to not become you, and I refuse to cripple myself even more or disable myself even more. I'm saying I have a disability. That's not bad. That's not wrong. I didn't choose it, but I have it. And you have the problem with it because you keep trying to put me to your standards when I'm at a different standards. And instead of you meeting me where I'm at, you always trying to make me come to you, make me crawl to you. I don't want to do that. I'm tired. I said I'm tired. Oh, you're younger than me. You're younger than me. I don't care how young I am, because that's the if being younger was being less than, that would make sense. But I'm not. I'm still a grown adult. And if you expect me to pay taxes, you expect me to go to work, you expect me to pay these bills on time, I need these things. You like you come to me. Everyone likes being able-bodied. Everyone likes punching down on the disabled community. Oh, and this is what I mean. It's not just like the people with apparent disabilities. It is the people that you can't perceive them to be disabled because they're walking, because they're talking. I walk pretty regular. If I don't say it, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything like abnormal. And then when I roll up my leg and show the giant scars that are covering my calf, the giant scars that literally caused me not to be able to walk again, or almost to not be able to walk again. The bullet hole through my kneecap. Then people are like, oh, ooh. But if I told them the wildness of everything that has happened, that I was literally inches, the pain and torment that I had to go through, and I still did it with a smile in this world that does not acknowledge black disabled people. You couldn't even fathom. You couldn't even understand. You just go to your base program and it goes, he's all right. He's okay. He's fine. He'll be okay. And it was because of that that made me like I already kind of understood, but it made it more pronounced what other disabled people were going through for so long. That people become disabled. That's why the elderly. That's why the elderly get attacked. I think that there's a huge issue with how we treat elderly people. But like the reason why it's not talked about is because it's not really an elderly issue. It's a able-bodied issue. They disguise it as, don't you hate your parents? And rightfully so. Most people hate their parents. Most people dislike their parents. They dislike the older generation, as they should, for their own personal reasons. But they say, see, the older generation is your parents, so don't care about elderly care. That's where you got messed up, because they put disability in elderly care. You can be like disabled and elderly seem synonymous, but they're not. They're not. Because like if I said, hey, we need money for canes, I'm not old. I didn't say you was old. I said we need money for canes. What if you can't walk and you need a cane? No, I'm 30, man. I don't need a cane. If something happens to you and you need a cane at 31, there ain't no money for no canes. I'm never gonna need that. That's why work is so difficult. That's why work is so stressful, because it keeps you working so hard just to focus on your job, but not to focus on the long term. What happens when you end? If you ever have a chance to breathe, you kind of realize, and your frontal lobe fully developed. Because a lot of people, I feel like their frontal lobe ain't fully developed, not because of their own fault, because they've never had a space to breathe. you realize that there's going to be a life where you can't muscle it out, and you haven't been focusing on the mental for so long. Doing a crossword puzzle a day is not going to stop you. You need to actually, like, it's not going to stop the mental deterioration. That's the bare minimum. You need education. You need critical thinking skills. You need to have fun, art, renaissance. We like, you need not hobbies. You need those things as excitements to change the word, to change how we perceive these things, not as luxuries, but as necessities, to grow into a more ethical and more empathetic culture. That is why philosophy is important. That's why art and music. That's why, like, they love to send their children to go get liberal arts degrees, and then talk about, like, oh, the rich kids always getting liberal arts degrees, and ha ha ha, and kiki, and you notice that they never put a stop to that. Rich people could put a stop to anything that they want, but they never really put a stop to that. They want you to laugh at it. They want you to think those liberal arts degrees are dumb. That's why they even make them jokes. They're like, liberal. They got liberal in. I ain't no sissy liberal. Why would I send my kid to learn a liberal degree? They want you to think that. Because if you get those liberal arts degrees, you realize you have the time to think. You have the time to stop. They want you to think. They want you to sit there and just wonder something. They want you to kind of, like, liberal arts degrees force you to go within yourself, to figure out if you're actually creative enough to get yourself out of this situation. A liberal arts degree will send you to a escape room as a game, as a joke, and you'll realize, if I was stuck in this room and I actually had to get out, like, if there wasn't literally I could just turn the door and just leave, I could not figure out how to do it. It's literally that John Wick type of stuff. It's that Jason Bourne. Could you figure out the code? Could you figure out the clues? Could you be a detective like Batman? No, you couldn't. Because you would think, hey, there's a sledgehammer. They left a sledgehammer in here. And then we go hit it with the door. And then we keep hitting it until the door breaks down. Realizing that you don't have the force, time, or energy. You got 1 hour. You couldn't do it. They want you to make fun of the liberal arts degrees so you don't go get it. They want you to make fun of those things so you don't understand the secrets of what the skills are inside them. That's why they send their kids to go do it. Because they want their kids to be well-rounded people, seem like cool guys. They want you to make fun of the rich people now, the rich people stereotype, and then when you actually meet a rich person and they're down to earth, they know how to talk to you, you think they're less bad by comparison. Because you will inevitably encounter them. Because, like, their narcissism will never allow them to not be in sight. Because, like, they will always be somewhere. They'll always be, because that's the internet personality. That's the good looking person. Because guess what? They might not actually be attractive, but that's what you see. So you perceive them as attractive. They have confidence. They have the makeup. They know what to do to look aesthetically pleasing. They have the clothes that look aesthetically pleasing. Heck, even if they're trying to meet an aesthetic of, like, oh, they're a hard-working country dude, they will put dirt, they will wear caps, they will be outside with a truck. And you'll be so overstimulated that you don't even wonder, okay, when did they buy that truck? Why is that truck in such good condition? Did they actually fix this truck? Did they actually? You'll never really pay attention to ask those questions. You notice that they never do a Q&A. Or if they do, it's always selective questions that put them in a positive light. That they never really have a bad thing. They'll say a bad thing that's, like, not really that bad. Like, when you see those Q&As with the celebrities, they'll be like, what's your grossest habit? I bite my fingernails. Okay. Oh, that's That's way. Or they'll say, I just like to smell feed. Yeah, that's a little off-putting. It's very calculated. It's manipulative. That's why you should go to those liberal arts degrees. That's why you should never be mad or upset about something until you've actually done it. You shouldn't say it until you've done it, or until you have actual experience in it. You've seen it. You studied it. I'm not saying that you have to go get a degree in it, but sit there and take a course. Take like what's the thing that you absolutely hate? Because they'll say something broad like, "Oh, I hate liberal arts degrees." That's a whole genre. There's a whole lot of things in liberal arts. What do you hate? And if you come there with an attitude like you hate it, you're absolutely not gonna do and engage with it. Yeah, of course you're going to inevitably hate it. You're putting energy towards hating it. But I say if that's what you have to do it. I say take um, take that energy, keep doing it, do it harder, do it early on. And you know why? Hate on it so much while continue to keep the class, because eventually one of you guys are going to wear down, and the authentic, the real thing will always stand true. If your hate can outlast that, your hate can outlast the entire class, a full course in a reasonable time, and you've hated full strength the entire time, and you managed to keep that hate, then you were right. You were right. But if you are able to fully participate in the class, get the A, because that's the thing, get the good grade in it, hate on it the entire time, and you can even recite what exactly you hate about it, then there's something to hate on. But it's a lot of work to hate. I'm a trained, certified hater. I hate on things very prominent. Hating is a hard work.